Hello everyone, Lytro Storm here, and today we're starting up a brand new series on the channel. This new series is, What If Goku Never Hit His Head? Now this one sounds pretty generic, at least I thought so when I first thought about it, just because usually what people think of and what they do is that, oh, Goku might be evil now that he didn't hit his head. Now, I actually disagree with that, but I'll explain that later. A lot of people have done this before, so credit to them, but now I'm going to be doing it. Now, because of this change, Goku will remember his parents and his name, Kakarot, but not much else since he was like 3 when he was sent to Earth, so... Before we get into the actual changes the story has, I want to tell you guys to make sure to subscribe if you like the video, as currently not a lot of my viewers are actually subscribed, and it really helps out if you are. As for likes, let's try and hit 100 likes to continue this series early with part 2. As always, be sure to join my Discord and follow me on Twitter. Links in the description. Alright, so as for Goku and his personality, I think it would mostly remain the same just because he's still being raised by Gohan, and the whole like him being a rowdy baby thing never really happens in Super Broly or the DB-. So I think it won't really make sense to have him as evil or like rowdy or whatever, and it could have even changed because of the retcons. They probably retconned him to be nicer, considering Bardock and Guinea were both retconned to be nicer. Well, not Guinea, but she was made to be nice. Plus, he's like 3 instead of like just born, so it would make sense if he's a better child. But anyway, to begin the story, Goku still trains under Gohan. However, he remembers his name as Kakarot. He also might be slightly more rowdy, but probably not as much as displayed in Z, because he is a bit older and looks more innocent in the Broly movie. Anyway, eventually, he does kill Gohan as an Uzaru and lives alone. Once Bulma comes by and explains the Dragon Balls, Kakarot goes with her and wants to try to meet his parents again. When he had asked his grandfather, he had told him that something must have happened to them for them to send him away. So he wants to find out what and meet them again. So he knows he's an alien in this story. From here, the story carries on until Oolong wishes for panties to stop Pilaf, and Kakarot is kinda sad that he couldn't bring back his parents. Kakarot then trains with Roshi, fights in the tournament, and afterward goes back out to find the Dragon Balls. By the way, his reasoning that he knows he's not from Earth and he thinks that maybe they're strong and can help him get stronger too. So a few reasons why he would want to, on top of him just wanting to see his parents again, which is like a duh motivation. So Kakarot finds all the balls and Bora still dies to Tao. Once he has them all, Kakarot tries to bring back his father, mother, and Bora back to life. However, upon doing this, because of all his excitement that he'd finally get to see his mother and father again, he forgot some crucial information. They were on another planet. Now, I know people will bring it up in the comments, so I might as well just get this out of the way now. No, Goku cannot just wish for them all to be teleported to Earth. There's only one wish from Shenron at this point, and every time they teleport someone after reviving them in the series, they use a second wish. This is done both in and after the Frieza saga, with Piccolo being wished back and transported to Namek, and Krillin having his soul wished onto Earth and then being revived entirely. No distinction is made between Porunga and Shenron's ability to revive and teleport, so we should just assume that Shenron works the same way, as literally every other difference between them is stated in the series. Examples being Porunga only being able to revive one person at a time, and the difference in recovery time for the Dragon Balls. Anyway, just had to get that out of the way because I know someone was going to comment and they probably still will, so let's just get back into the video. Kakarot sees Bora come back and hug his son Upa, and then remembers that his parents were on another planet. Remember that he is just a kid who wasn't thinking straight due to excitement. He is still young, remember, and he's always been thinking of this day, so it would definitely excite him and, make him forget. Upa asks what is wrong, and Kakarot tells him that he's fine. It just didn't work how he wanted to. He then leaves, and Roshi tells him to travel the world until the next Budokai. Kakarot does this for a year, waiting for the Dragon Balls to be restored. Once they are, he gathers them and tries to wish them back once more, this time stating he wants to bring them to Earth. Shenron tells him that he can't do that because Wishing them back and transporting them Earth would count as 2 wishes, and he can't bring them back twice. So 2 reasons why he wouldn't be able to. Kakarot is angered by this and feels great disappointment in himself, and so he asks Shenron if he can summon him again later, to which the dragon says yes. He disappears and the Dragon Balls fall to the ground. Kakarot picks them up and puts them in a bag before traveling to Korin's tower. He asks Korin what he should do, and he tells Kakarot that maybe Kami could help him. Kakarot asks about this, and Korin tells him that to get Kami, he has to be deemed worthy. Kakarot then continues his previous training with Korin for a few months, until he is finally ready to drink the Ultra Divine Water. Korin gives it to him, and it boosts him up a decent bit. He then gives him a bell and sends him up to Kami's lookout. Once he arrives, he is greeted by Popo, who bodies him and calls him weak. Kakarot tries his best, but is no match for the genie, and so Kami steps out. He asks the boy why he is here, and is told that he wanted help. He explains his situation, and Kami tells him that he would have to get himself stronger in order to make the dragon strong enough to do this, because remember, Shenron's strength is linked to Kami's strength. Kakarot begs for him to get stronger, noticing that Kami was a bit old, and says that maybe he can wish for his youth back. Kami and Popo are both insulted by this kid coming onto the lookout and demanding things and insulting Kami, and so the god asks why he should do it, and Kakarot begs him, saying that he'll do whatever he wants. Kami tells the boy to fight him, and beats him up pretty easily. He notes, however, that the boy is strong, and tells him that he will do this so long as he trains here. He goes further by saying that once he surpasses him, he must become Earth's guardian. Kakarot accepts this, and so Kami summons Shenron, wishing to get his youth back. The two then train along with Popo to make Kakarot stronger, however naturally, Kami also gets stronger because of this. For the last year and a half, the training goes on, and by the end, the two are a lot stronger. Also, thank you to this person for letting me use their young Kami drawing. I asked for it like a year ago, but I never did it, so now I'm using it, so thanks. Check them out. Now as for strength, Kakarot is in between King Piccolo when he had his youth, and himself when he fought Piccolo Jr. Kami, however, is more so Raditz Saga Piccolo level. He still isn't strong enough to remove the restrictions and add a wish yet though, as that would take an immense power amp from his previous self. Kakarot tells him that he must go to the tournament, and so Kami waves him goodbye and tells him to return when he's finished. Upon arrival, Kakarot greets everyone, telling Roshi that he only traveled for about a year and apologizing. Continuing, he says that he went back and trained with Korin before training with Kami. Roshi's first round goes the same. The second as well until Kakarot and Krillin fight. This time, Kakarot easily bodies Krillin because he chose to strengthen his tail rather than remove it, and he is much stronger. So he doesn't even come close to losing even when weighted. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention he's wearing weights. Seeing Tenshinhan beat Yamcha and Jackie Chun makes Kakarot take off his weights when the final match starts. He bodies Tenshinhan, and the only real chance he stands is with Chaozu using telekinesis. However, like in canon, Tenshinhan tells him to stop. Kakarot then easily bodies him and wins the tournament. Afterward, he buys dinner for everyone. He doesn't leave his Dragon Ball or Power Pole, since his Power Pole was linking Korin's tower to the lookout, and he was training with Kami, so he couldn't find the 4-star ball. This means that Tambourine doesn't attack Krillin, instead killing the announcer and taking the roster to hunt down fighters. No one ever notices this though, due to Tambourine suppressing himself drastically. After dinner, everyone goes their separate ways, with Kakarot heading back to the lookout, taking Krillin and Yamcha with him to climb Korin's tower. Tenshinhan and Chaozu try looking for a new place to train, and Roshi goes back to Kame House. However, like what happened in one of my other what-ifs, King Piccolo still creates Symbol to find the Dragon Balls, who dies to Yajirobe. He then makes a new warrior Marine fight Tenshinhan and Chaozu. The Demon King beats Roshi pretty easily and kills him. As for Tenshinhan and Chaozu, Chaozu is killed, but Tenshinhan is just barely able to defeat Piccolo's 2 children. He is heavily wounded though, and barely limps away, trying to find help. He wasn't strong enough to kill both of the children, leaving Tambourine injured and unconscious as he leaves. He passes out near a forest and wakes to find someone pulling him by his leg. He tells him to stop, and finds out that this was Yajirobe. Yajirobe tells him that he can't eat him if he's alive, and so basically says to leave. He had already had enough trouble with some giant green dude. The two have a bit of banter, but eventually a giant ship arrives. The Demon King stepped out and told Yajirobe to give him the Dragon Ball around his neck or he'd kill him. Yajirobe agrees and Piccolo summons Shenron as Yajirobe jumps into his flying car and Tenshinhan gets in as well. King Piccolo has now obtained his youth. In the car, Yajirobe asked if Tenshinhan knew that guy, and he replied no, although he does have an idea of who it could be. He also did have a similar experience to Yajirobe with the two green creatures attacking him. Maybe these things are tied somehow. Yajirobe asks where they should go, and Tenshinhan guides him to the Crane School, where he might be able to get help. They arrive and Shen obviously tells him that he doesn't want anything to do with him since he's a traitor. Tenshinhan and Yajirobe explain their experiences, and Shen recognizes this as King Piccolo. Shen tells them of Mutaito and the Demon King's reign long ago. He agrees to help, but only on the condition that he never speaks to him again afterward. Tenshinhan agrees. Meanwhile, the turtle students are climbing up Korin's tower when Kakarot feels Roshi's presence slip away. He tells Krillin and tells them to keep climbing. If he doesn't return, then go back to find him. He agrees and continues climbing until he reaches Korin and takes a Senzu Bean, tossing it down to Yamcha. Yamcha ate it and his leg was now healed. He then began climbing as well. Kakarot takes a Nimbus and flies to Kame House, which he finds Roshi's capsule. Kakarot began sensing around and felt a power get even larger, as he saw the sky turn black. On the lookout, Kami felt all of this playing out, and waited, thinking it would be the perfect test for the young Kakarot. And that's where we're leaving part 1. I actually found myself really enjoying how the story is going so far. I think it's very interesting and can lead to some further revelations as the series continues. Hopefully you all liked it too, and if you did, make sure you like the video and subscribe to help the channel grow and to let me know you want a part 2 soon. But as always, tell me if you liked this part, tell me what you think will happen next, comment your requests for future videos, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.